Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Insider, the Bayside Girls Championship all the way down to the wire. Trust and believe. We've got the highlights coming up.
Almost jumped the gun. Now, a girl from that game
Yeah.
had a pretty big milestone tonight over at Parkside as the Rams open state tournament play hosting North Carolina. Details on that coming up.
That's right, and the Dsi A playoffs, yeah, they're on and popping. Stick around for those highlights a little later on in the show. Welcome into the only place you want to be on a Friday night at 11. Of course, it is the Delmarva Sports Insider alongside Jeff Harris and Jonah Restuccio at the wall. I am Trayvon Miles.
And welcome inside of DSI, your new favorite show. Should be your only show.
That's right.
On a Friday night. Now, the season winding down slowly, but surely.
Exactly right. And we begin tonight with a rewind back to Tuesday, the Bayside Championship. We know it had so much surrounding it with the coin flip and the controversy and a lot going on. When it was all said and done, there had to be a game. Y-High and Easton, Part 2 on Tuesday with the title on the line. Rematch of last year's on the boys' side. Easton and Y-High. Remember the Tribe won by 49 last year. First half, Easton trying to hang around. Lamont Powell and one. That guy had 25 points on the night. Y-High up big at the end of the first. Jaden Baker, nice fancy finish there. And then Jason Handy with the rebound and the putback. The Warriors would be down by nearly 30 again. They cut it at halftime. Grant Copper right there. They cut the lead to 18, but that is really as close as they would get out of the halftime break. Dorian Stevens, he went on an 8-0 run by himself. Not as bad as last year, but all around not a good showing from Easton. Y-High runs away with their 11th Bayside title in program history. Baker, Handy, and Stevens combined for 64 as they put Easton away 88-63.
It feels amazing. You should ask him how I feel. This is his first time.
Man, well, this is my first time. It feels amazing. It's awesome, to be honest. You feel me? Out of 4 years, I finally get to see this chance in the Bayside Finals. You feel me? With my boys.
Yeah, as a sophomore, I feel great on here with the guys. We back here. I'm going all the way.
We got to get there and win, you know. Same motto as last year.
Same motto.
Sir, same motto.
Boys.
All right, so a little happy there. Parkside and Easton for the girls. Parkside coming out hot. Rams jumping out to an early double-digit lead. Amanda Ballard, the freshman. Warriors, they tie things up before the halftime break, though, courtesy of 2 straight threes from Abby Farr. Rams, though, would have the halftime lead. Jackie Wright beats the buzzer. Parkside up 2 at the break. Second half, back and forth just a little bit. Easton with the lead. Jara Kelly ties things up. So fast forward, 3 seconds left. Easton with the inbounds, a chance to win it, but it's off the mark. So to overtime we go. In OT, Ballard again in transition, ties things up at 59 apiece. 5 seconds to go. Easton has to go the full length of the court, finds Maya Jeter. Love this. Onions. The Easton Warriors walking off as Bayside champs in style. 61-59, the overtime win.
Well, I knew we had like 3 seconds left, so I wasn't sure if I had a dribble, so I just shot it. Feels good. Feels good to bring it home. We knew they were a really aggressive team coming in. We played them before, but we knew those got better past recently, so we need to come in strong and play aggressive.
First of all, what a game from Easton and Parkside. We got to give it up for those ladies. Absolutely amazing on both sides. If you saw how the game went, the way for Easton to respond the way they did with the young lady missing at the buzzer there, that could have just killed their confidence altogether. Instead, they rallied around one another, and they got the job done in overtime, in a very pressurized situation in overtime at that. So you got to give them credit.
Of course, and recognize Y-High as well. Big win for them. Bayside champs. I truly believe whether or not it was Chrisfield or it was Y-High, they were going to beat the CC team. And that's not a knock on Easton. It just shows you how good they were. Now, something about Maya Jeter knocked Parkside out of the fall volleyball playoffs in 2018. So she's just doing it all this year. And, you know, showing us a few more games is going to be Jonah Restuccio over at the wall.
We'll start our postseason coverage in Maryland with arguably the game of the night. Mardella, they have not won a playoff game since 2013. One of their best seasons in recent memory this year. And in round 1, a tough road test against the 4-seed Washington Jags. Washington would lead by as many as 8 late in the second half. Eldon Horsey with the corner 3. Mardella, they'd get a big boost from this guy. Sincere Pinkett, a bucket. Tough layup to cut it to 3. And then pulling up in transition. That ties us up at 60. In the first round, we're getting some free basketball. 4 extra minutes in OT. Mardella up 1. Horsey gets his number called and 1. Free throw is good for a 2-point lead. So after our Mardella free throw, Davin Phillips up by 1. He makes it up 3 with authority. Pinkett, 23 big ones on the night. Crossover and 3 to tie the game. The other way, Horsey would be fouled. He sinks the free throw with 3 seconds left. And that does it. Washington, they're on to round 2 in overtime over Mardella. Still in the 1A East, 6 seed North Dorchester visiting 3 seed Snow Hill. Eagles, last year's 1A East region finalist, opening the game on a 7-0 run. Shaquan Williams with the strong move. North Dorchester, they'd go on a 7-0 run of themselves. Gary Pledger with the corner 3. And then Pledger again finishing in transition to tie things up. Snow Hill would answer from there. Zaire Johnson with a baseline floater. In what looks like almost the same play to retake the lead. Johnson from the baseline again. Eagles hold on in a close one over North Dorchester, 56-55. They're on to round 2, and they'll get the winner of this game. 2 seed Cambridge hosting Pocomoke. Pocomoke on the road, looking to upset Cambridge. Isaiah Johnson forces the steal and lays it in, and 1. And then it's Johnson again out in front of the pack, moves past the defense, in for another layup, avoids the defender, but the Vikings would find their form. Davion Linder follows up the missed 3, lays it up in for a pair, and CSD forcing the issue in the backcourt as well, applying the 3/4 court press. Jaquan Ferrer and Keyshawn Potter teaming up to cause the turnover. Potter gets the bucket. CSD takes care of business at home, 84-62. To the girls, Parkside looking to bounce back after dropping in the Bayside title game, which we just saw a little bit ago, up against North Caroline, the 6th seed. North Caroline causing some trouble early on. Hannah Ringgold cleaning up the missed shot. Then to the star of the night, Jackie Wright. She needed 7 points to reach 1,000 for her young career, but Wright wasn't the only Ram getting it done on the offensive end. Amanda Ballard out in the open floor, count the bucket and the foul for her. And on the fast break, we just previewed it. Wright up and in for her 1,000th career point. What a beautiful sight. She's only a sophomore, guys. Parkside advances on in the state tournament, 57-41. For some more scores, back over to the desk.
All right, here are the other scores from the playoff games tonight on the boys' side. Poor scoreboard in Crisfield. The Crabbers hang 116. That is not a typo. 116 on St. Michael's. Now, the only question is, will the basketball gods punish Crisfield for such a large margin of victory going forth in the playoffs, Jeff?
Yeah, and then a bit of a disappointing end to the season for the Trojans. Kent County falling to Coppin Academy by 8, 68-60. I know that was a 3 versus 6 matchup, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, a lot of Kent County fans, of course, the team thought they might be able to pull this one out. Yeah, absolutely. And I think things are really getting ready to get interesting here in Maryland. We know that when it comes to round 2 and beyond, you start to see a lot of rematches, as you do in round 1. But round 2, they become more specific because you start weeding out some of the smaller seeds and some of the lower teams. So Washington and Crisfield up next. We know that Washington gave this team, although Crisfield is a dominant team, they gave them a very close game the last time they did play. They gave them a little scare. So you never know what's going to happen. Of course, we got Queen Anne's and Parkside tomorrow. We know that's going to be a battle. Exactly. And in the state of Maryland, we saw it last year. You know, with Snow Hill, just being able to advance. You don't know what it's like. You have this big first-round win in overtime for Washington. That's a confidence booster. It is. And then when you continue to go through the playoffs, you need that confidence in order to win, of course, with talent. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, so we're not predicting at all that Washington's going to knock off Crisfield, but we do have high hopes that they will at least give them a good game. In that game. That's right. That's going to do it for Block 1. When we return, the only undefeated team on the shore makes their debut tonight. The Dover Senators on to state quarters with a win yesterday. We're breaking it down when we return.
I'm Jacqueline Wright from Parkside High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.